Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing you your top stories for tonight. I am Lakshita Singha.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
War preparations in the Middle Eastern zone increase. The President's challenge to Sajid and Anura. Sajid pledges to safeguard civil defense officials. Anura says the country should be handed over to a correct group of rulers. Namal promises to accept the responsibility of carrying forward the country from the development stalled in 2015.
We now move on to those and other stories in detail, taking a look at our top stories right now. Israel's military says it has conducted preemptive airstrikes against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon after detecting plans for a significant attack against its territory. Hezbollah confirms it has started phase 1 of the attack.
And the said attack has been begun by firing a wave of hundreds of Katyusha rockets and drones towards Israel. Hezbollah says today's operation has now been completed and accomplished in the past hour. Israel says it has struck more Hezbollah rocket launchers. Lebanon's Ministry of Health says 3 people have been killed there. The Israel Defense Force says Hezbollah's rockets caused very little damage. It is a major escalation in tensions and it follows the killing of a Hezbollah commander in Beirut almost a month ago. Lebanon's caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati has held an emergency meeting with ministers to discuss the situation in the south of the country. During the meeting, Mikati stressed that he is holding a series of contacts with Lebanon's friends to stop the escalation. In this morning's early hours, Israel's military launched what it called preemptive airstrikes against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon after detecting plans for a significant attack against its territory. Hezbollah later said it had started phase 1 of an extensive attack on Israel, firing 320 Katyusha rockets and drones and targeting 11 military sites. The Israel Defense Forces said around 100 fighter jets struck and destroyed thousands of Hezbollah rocket launcher barrels in more than 40 sites.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe challenges Sajid Premadasa and Anura Kumara Dissanayake to come for an open discussion with the International Monetary Fund via online without deceiving the masses. He has posed the challenge at the United National Party special conference which is held today. The President has added that following the discussion, the general public would be able to ascertain the truth or the inaccuracies of the facts they disclose in the stage. The UNP special session was held at the Sirikota party headquarters this afternoon. President Ranil Wickremesinghe is contesting as an independent candidate at the forthcoming presidential election has been unanimously endorsed at this occasion. A large group of representatives of other parties including Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and UNP activists was present at the occasion.
General Secretary of the UNP Palitha Range Bandara said that the current need is to build a strong foundation for the future, not merely to preserve what has already been achieved. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has proven himself as a leader who not only quelled the fires of crisis but did so with unwavering determination. He further said that it is their duty as members of the UNP to fully support and work towards his victory. As they conclude this conference today, he added that let it be known to renew their commitment to ensuring the success of their leader, President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
ජාතික පක්ෂයේ ගරු මහලේකම්තුමා විසින් ඉදිරිපත් කරන ලද එම යෝජනාව මම ඉස්තර කරනවා.
National Secretary of the UNP and former Minister Ravi Karunanayake said that in 27 days, National Organizer of the UNP, Chief of Staff to the President and Senior Advisor of National Security, Sagala Ratnayake said that their country was
ජාත්‍යන්තර මූල්‍ය අරමුදල හා විරත් මාර්ග ඔස්සේ ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් මිලියන 6000ක මුදලක් සොයා ගැනීමටයි.
ඒ රටෙන් මේ රට ඉදිරියට යනවද නැත්නම් නැවත අර අමිහිරි පෝලිං යුගයට
National Secretary of the UNP and former Minister Ravi Karunanayake said that in 27 days the presidential election will be held to choose the 9th executive president of this country. He added that 25 months ago, Sri Lanka was in a time of crisis marked by long queues and a bankrupt economy with power cuts lasting up to 13 hours. National Organizer of the UNP, Chief of Staff to the President and Senior Advisor of the National Security, Sagala Ratnayaka, said that their country was once on the brink of bankruptcy, but it has reached to its current state through significant efforts to rapidly advance the economy. Essential programs have been implemented to foster an export-driven economy, develop a digital economy and enhance the tourism industry. UNP Vice Leader and Senior Advisor to the President, Akila Viraj Karyavasam, said that despite efforts to create separate power factions, the majority of the Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna has been united and is now behind President Wickremesinghe. Many citizens are turning to him for leadership in navigating the country out of its current crisis. The presidential election is pivotal and it will shape the country's future. President Ranil Wickremesinghe is the only candidate addressing progressive issues such as artificial intelligence, digital economy. Deputy Leader of the UNP and Senior Advisor to the President on Climate Change, Juwal Vijayawardena, said that the President Ranil Wickremesinghe has demonstrated through his actions that he is the leader capable of rebuilding the country's economy. His leadership is essential. Former Minister Manusha Nanayakara said that amidst these challenges, President Ranil Wickremesinghe was the only leader who stood for the people, undeterred by his own political defeat. During a time of widespread fear and uncertainty about the future, no other leader stepped forward to alleviate the people's suffering. Many sought to capitalize on the crisis for their own political gain.
Former Minister Harin Fernandez said that currently 14 members of the Samagi Janasandhane have come together to support President Ranil Wickremesinghe's victory. Since 1993, the UNP has not had a president elected. Therefore, the upcoming presidential election is crucial. The former minister also said that they now have the opportunity to elect a UNP leader as president. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, a visionary leader who revived the UNP, has worked tirelessly to address the pressing needs and concerns of the entire nation. Chairman of the UNP, Vajira Bewardena, said that new decrees have been passed to stabilize and rebuild the country's economy, ensuring it does not face collapse again. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has been instrumental in creating conditions that allow 23 million people to endure during these challenging times. As members of the UNP, they are dedicated to securing his appointment as the 9th executive president, marking a historic achievement for the nation.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe further said that facing the current challenges, he had accepted the task of addressing these issues and assembled a dedicated team. Additionally, he worked closely with RHS Samaratunga, Nandlal Veerasinghe and Mahinda Siriwardena, with Sagara Ratnayaka serving as his chief of staff. Contributions from Indrajit Kumaraswamy, Shanta Devaraj and Shamini Kure were also instrumental. Together, this team played a crucial role in stabilizing and saving the country's economy. The president further said that they initiated a program with the IMF and engaged in discussions with 18 countries, leading to agreements that have helped bring the country to its current state. However, the opposition's election manifesto promises reductions in the prices of goods and taxes. Lowering taxes would reduce government revenue, jeopardizing their ability to meet IMF targets and potentially leading to a return to the economic conditions. The president said that if the people believe that this agreement with the IMF can be altered, then directly address the IMF and request such a change. Additionally, they should explain how they plan to generate the necessary income if the goals are not met. The country needs clear answers to these questions. If the country has a viable plan, it should be presented to the public in a transparent manner. He added that they also propose that representatives from all three parties come together to negotiate with the IMF and share the outcomes of those discussions with the nation. This will allow the public to discern the truth and any falsehoods. Afterward, if anyone is dissatisfied, they can express their concerns clearly.
ඒකෙන් පස්සේ මං හිතන්නේ රටේ හැම එක්කෙනාම ගෑස් සිලින්ඩරේ ළඟින් කතරි ගහනවා. කතරි ගහන්න නැත්නම් ගෑස් සිලින්ඩර් නැති වුණොත් අඬන්න එපා.
Leader of the Samagi Jana Balawegi and presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa accuses the present government for acting in a manner disregarding the civil defence officials. He said at a public meeting yesterday that in a government under his administration, measures will be taken to safeguard civil defence officials. The public rally was jointly organised by the Samagi Jana Balawegi and the Samagi Jana Sandhaniya for the victory of the presidential election in Dehiyattakandiya. A large number of public representatives of the alliance was present at the meeting. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa was reported to have been warmly welcomed on arrival by the people. Parliamentarian Tissattanaika said that NPP members say that rulers of this country did not commit any positive thing for the country for the last 76 years. He invited NPP members to visit the reservoirs and other establishments belonging to the Mahaveli Mega Development Project and other development projects in the country and realize the deeds of past leaders in this country. Parliamentarian Rauf Hakim challenged the NPP to declare their portfolios including finance and economic affairs, saying that experts of that field are with SJB. Parliamentarian Nalin Bandara said that JVP members were responsible in bringing Rajapaksas into power in the past. He said that they received the radio frequency as a gift for that. Nalin Bandara pointed out that the same frequency was sold by the JVP and questioned how can they rule the country as they are unable to maintain a radio channel.
ජනතාව විමුක්ති කරන මොකද කරේ මේ නාලිකාව විකුණලා දැම්මා ඊළඟට කාටද මේක වික්කේ කාටද දන්නවද මේකේ අයිතිය තියෙන්නේ දැන් ඒක තමයි හොඳම කතාව මේ VFM නාලිකාවේ දැන් අයිතිය තියෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ වේදිකාවල පතුරු ගහන අර ජොන්ස්ටන් ප්‍රනාන්දුට කොහොමද ඒක මරුනේ යකෝ Tamanට තිබුණු නාලිකාව පවත්වාගෙන යන්න බැරි තොපිට ආණ්ඩුවක් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියන ප්‍රශ්නේ මම
Presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa said that they safeguarded, or rather they have safeguarded the civil defence sector by raising the biggest sound in Parliament. He further said that when the salaries of the government servants were increased by 24% from January 2025, salaries of civil defence sector officials will also be increased. The cost of living allowance will be increased by 25,000 rupees. The SJB leader added that when the minimum salary of government servants increases by 57,500 rupees, the officials in the civil defence sector will also be invigorated through this measure. Sajith Premadasa has also promised to hand over a promotion scheme for the civil defence sector. They will also be accorded compound allowances on the day of the payment of the salaries. He added that maximum relief would also be provided to the disabled civil defence officials. The SJB presidential candidate has recalled that he had handed over a kidney dialysis machine to the Dehiyattakandiya hospital. In order to make kidney patients alive, he added that there could be plenty of talkative leaders who have enough money with them. He added that, however, their funds go to print posters and cutouts. Sajith Premadasa also said for the first time of history of the country, a person who had made the highest commitments voluntarily on behalf of the people would become the president of the country through the strength of the people.
ශක්තිය තුලින් පත් වෙනවයි කියන එක ප්‍රකාශ කරමින් සියලු දෙනාටම ජය වේවා දෙහියත්තකන්ඩිය මහවැය ජනතාවට ජය වේවා ජය වේවා ජය වේවා ජය වේවා.
Presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, says only his party has the need to rescue the people and the country from the state of poverty. He was addressing a public rally in Tissa Maharama town yesterday. The public meeting has been organised to consolidate the victory of presidential candidate Anura Kumara Dissanayake. The NPP leader also said that in this occasion that in order to enrich the people, the country should be handed over to a group of correct leaders. Presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Anurukumara Dissanayake, said that by looking in every direction, it has come clear that Sri Lanka is a country poor in all respects. The estimated government income for the year 2024 is 4,161 billion rupees. However, he added that the estimated expenditure with the inclusion of loan installments and payment of loan interest and other expenditure is 11.3 billion rupees. Anurukumara Dissanayake also says government reports themselves say that 68% of the population either fail to have 3 meals a day or have only partial meals. The people are poor enough not to have food of their choice. The people, the country and the government are poor. The NPP leader further said that they have been forming governments for a long period, but the ultimate outcome was poor governments and poor people, but the rulers become rich. He further said that the result of the forming of government was the enrichment of rulers and those who were around them. He also called upon to form a government for first time, a government which will make people rich. Anurukumara Dissanayake says those who came in whatever form had come with the intention of getting themselves rich. He also said that the two groups were always together. He said that no further lessons are not needed and the aim should be to defeat such groups and to form a people's government.
Presidential candidate Namal Rajapaksa says he will accept the responsibility of carrying forward the development process that was stalled in the year 2015. He was addressing a people's meeting in Kalani. The meeting was organized to consolidate the victory of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna presidential candidate Namal Rajapaksa. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has also attended the event. Presidential candidate Namal Rajapaksa said that the success of the then Mahinda Rajapaksa government was the development of the village. The former president had identified the heartbeat of the village parent and the children. He had implemented the program to develop the village and the country. Namal Rajapaksa further said that they strongly believe that the government to be set up on the 22nd of September would be entrusted with the responsibility of carrying forward the development stalled in 2015. He has also pointed out the need to implement a tax policy which could be bearable to the people. He also said that at present they have witnessed how the tax policy is being implemented in a very unreasonable manner. He added that they believe that the taxation policies affect the professionals, enterprises and normal citizens. Rajapaksa added that their tax policy is simple and affordable. He also said that a program to increase taxes would be implemented within the next 3 to 4 years. The government would increase state revenue by developing state properties. He added that they do not hope to increase state revenue by selling state properties. He added that they are hoping to prepare a set of policies which would not change in a time frame 50 years and 100 years from now on. Namal Rajapaksa also said that their expectation is to transform the trade mechanism into digitalization as expected by the youth of the country. The state service will be streamlined and the honor of the state officials will be protected. He also said that salaries will be increased in relation to the inflation. An environment will be created to provide services without any political format and honestly in accordance with the world situation. A system of state service coupled with technology will be presented. Parliamentarian Kissa Kuttiarachchi said that the country rescued through a war could not be betrayed through a single stroke of the pen and should not be allowed to happen. The country saved by sacrificing the lives of the young males and females of the village could not be handed back under the 13th Amendment. A question on the unitary nature of the country would arise. If that happens, the country would be divided. State Minister of Small and Medium Scale Enterprises Prasanna Ranavira said that they have only one policy and they were in the camp of Mahinda Rajapaksa in a country which was won through a struggle. He added that they did not go out in search of privileges and added that they will remain with the great earth and the people. He added that they have a program without bogus practicality. Namal is coming to do a job of work. And with that we bring to you some of the opinions expressed by a few presidential candidates at public rallies. Presidential candidate Nuwan Sanjeewa Bopake said that a large number of parties have been preparing themselves for the presidential election for several years. He added that most of these parties up to now have not presented their policy statement. Bopage added that, however, they have presented the people consensus to the voters, including the people in Ratnapura today. He also said that they wish to reiterate one fact in the statement. Elaborating on this issue, he said there is a question relating to democracy. A problem has arisen regarding representative democracy. Nuwan Bopage also said that they will bring a people's constitution by changing the people's accord. He added that this is a statement which any other enterprise dares to state. He also said that they will create a constitution empowering the people the authority to reconvene people's representatives. The presidential candidate further said that they are presenting the proposal as a response to the distorted illusion of representative democracy which continuously deceived the masses. He added that their strategy is to give power to people's representation. Presidential candidate Vijaydas Rajapaksa says members of parliament and ministers are like broiler chicken. They are being sold cheaply. Some went to Ranil. Those who were being rejected by Ranil went to Sajith and Sajith accepted them. Those who were being rejected by Sajith go back to Ranil again. Vijaydas Rajapaksa further said that those who went to Ranil then think back again whether Sajith would win and they once again go back to Sajith. The presidential candidate adds that those who feel that Sajith would lose return to Ranil. He has inquired whether there were not politicos who engaged in such turnarounds at least 5 times within this month. Vijaydas Rajapaksa has queried as to whether the country could be restored through such people. He said that these corrupt individuals in one instance paint with the color green and in another instance is paint with the blue color and then again they paint the red color. Presidential candidate Dilip Jayavira said that their entire political usage is different. He also said that all those who joined them had done so on the foundations of nationalist policies and pure leftist politics. Dilip Jayavira further said they have not opened a saloon door. He added that they have no hope of creating universal franchise by joining with any parliamentarian. The percentage of those undecided is increasing and this should have actually gone down. However, that would not happen because the undecided are a disappointed lot. Presidential candidate Sarath Fonseca said that the situation is extremely regrettable. He added that the situation may change the day when all disentangle themselves from the differences based on party colors and when there is a 95% of floating votes. He also said that voters would destroy their lives by themselves if they vote for a palm leaf stalk presented as a party representation. The presidential candidate has therefore requested not to be the slaves of parties and advised them to safeguard their pride and personality.
A meeting between President Ranil Wickremesinghe and reverend clergymen of the Catholic Bishops' Conference has taken place recently. The President on this occasion has enlightened the Reverend Fathers on the economic progress gained so far and the government's program to resolve the cost of living problem of the people. The meeting was attended by Reverend clergymen including Head of the Catholic Bishops' Conference and Bishop of Kurunegala, Reverend Harold Anthony, and Auxiliary Bishop of Colombo, Reverend Don Anton Jacudi. The discussion has extensively dealt on issues including educational reforms being implemented in the country, progress on the investigations into the Easter Sunday terror attack, and also on the resolution of disputes pertaining to environment and Catholic churches. A tragic story of a mother and 2 children washed away and killed when they went to bathe in the Daduru Oya has been reported from Bogamo in Kurunegala today. The victims were reported to have been engaged in duties as watchers in the private estate in Bogamo. The police says they had met with this unfortunate incident while attempting to bathe in the Daduru Oya, which flows along the place where they stay this morning. A group which came to the spot in the afternoon for bathing had spotted the footwear, clothes and bucket at the location but found the mother and 2 children missing. In a subsequent search carried out by the villagers, dead body of the 10-year-old child has been found. Operations are underway to find the corpses of the 34-year-old mother and her other 5-year-old child.
10 transport associations, including the Private Bus Owners Association, extended their support to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the presidential election. The representatives of the associations have announced their decision when they met the president yesterday. Heads and representatives of the associations, including President of the Private Bus Owners Association, Gamanu Vijay Ratna, have called on the President at the President's political office in Flower Road, Colombo. The 10 supporting transport associations include Lanka Private Bus Owners Association, Interprovincial Bus Owners Association, Podujana Peramuna Bus Association, Container Transport Association, Office Transport Association, All Ceylon Drivers Trade Union, All Ceylon Three-Wheel Drivers and Owners Association, and the Association of Railway Station Masters. Transport Association representatives in the northern and eastern provinces were also present at the meeting. Several problems confronted by the representatives in their field were presented to the President on this occasion. In the meantime, a book titled Chaotic Nature in Geopolitics and Sustenance of Life, Sri Lanka's National Defence and International Terrorists Fold Power Struggle, authored by President of the Private Bus Owners Association Gamanu Vijayaratne, was presented to the President at the meeting. And with that, we move on to a short break. Stay tuned for news from overseas. And in foreign news, Pakistan authorities says that a bomb blast near a police office in southwestern Pakistan has killed at least 2 children and injured 16 people.
7 policemen were among those wounded when the remote control bomb attached to a motorcycle detonated in Pishin district yesterday. Initial reports indicate that explosives were planted in a motorcycle which was parked in the area, that the 2 children were passing through the area when the blast occurred. And provincial government spokesman Shahid Rind said the terrorists are targeting innocent and sinless people to achieve their nefarious goals.
And in sports news, England have won the first test of the current series against Sri Lanka by 5 wickets in Manchester. The England team, in response to Sri Lanka team's first innings score of 236 all out, has scored 358 runs in their first innings. Sri Lanka in their second innings has recorded 326 runs. The highest scorer of the Sri Lankan innings was Kamindu Mendis, who scored 113 runs, scoring his 3rd test century. Dinesh Chandimal has also scored 79 runs. The English team was entrusted with a victory target of 205 runs, which they achieved, losing only 5 wickets. The second test match of the current series between the 2 countries is scheduled to commence at the Lord's Cricket Stadium on the 29th of this month.
ප්‍රීමා කොත්තුමි මන් තමයි.
And that's all the stories for tonight. Do join us tomorrow for more of the very latest. Until then, good night.
Good night.